Understanding arithmetic operators is a breeze if you know basic algebra. Now let's consider two variables a equal to 10 and b equal to 20. Now using the plus operator, you do the addition. So a plus b gives you 30. A minus gives you 10. Of course, here we are doing 10 minus 20, so it is minus 10. And then a star is used for multiplication. So a star b gives you 200. And a slash is used, forward slash is used for division. So b divided by a gives you 2. And then the percentage is for modulus. Modulus gives you the remainder. So b modulo a is 0 because 0 is the remainder when you divide 20 by 10. So next one is the increment operator, which is 2 plus signs. So increment operator is represented this way. So whatever is the variable plus plus next to that variable is the increment operator, which is equivalent to this. So either you can write b plus plus or you can write b is equal to b plus 1. Both are same. And of course, increment operator can also be represented this way. That is first the plus symbols and then the variable. So you have two ways of representing the increment operator. One is after the variables you can add the two symbols, or before the variables you can add the increment operator. Similarly, there is also a decrement operator which works in very similar fashion, except instead of b is equal to b plus 1, this time it is equivalent to b is equal to b minus 1. And again, here also you have the two options, which is increment operator can be after the variable name or it can also be before the variable name. Java also provides a set of shorthand operators. So the shorthand operators are used in place of the long form of the same expression. So if you have c is equal to c plus a, you can replace this by a shorthand representation of the exact same equation. So instead of using c is equal to c plus a, you can use c plus equal to a. And of course, you can replace that plus with a negative or with a multiplication or with a division or with a modulo. It doesn't matter. They are all used with the same technique. Java also provides us with a set of relational operators. The result of the relational operator is a Boolean value, true or false. Now let's take an example. Now let's take two variables and apply the various relational operators and see what the results would be. Let's consider a equal to 10, b equal to 20, and the relational operator double equal to turns out to be false when you apply that between a and b. That is, this expression is a equal to b means is a equal to b. If a is exactly equal to b, then it turns out to be true, else false. And since a is 10, b is 20, this equation will turn out to be false. And the not equal to operator is like this, a exclamation mark and then an equal to symbol. So if you're trying to find out if a is not equal to b, then it will evaluate to true if this expression is true. And in this case, it is true because a is definitely not equal to b because a is 10, b is 20. So this turns out to be true. And then you have the greater than operator, you have the less than operator, and here a is greater than b is false because a is 10, b is 20, so it's false. A is less than b is true, and a is greater than or equal to b is false, and a less than or equal to b is true. Although we applied the relational operators against two variables a and b can be any complex expression which eventually evaluates to some value, some literal. So as long as the a or b is replaced by any complex expression which results in some value, you can apply the relational operator. Next is the logical operators. So logical operators are applied to Booleans only. So now we have two variables here, a equal to true, b equal to false, and that's when you can apply the logical operator. So what this expression actually means is if a is true and also b is true, then this entire expression is true. If either one of them is false, then this entire expression is false. At the same time, if A turns out to be false, it won't even bother checking if B is false or not, because since A is false, this entire expression is false, and it will evaluate the expression to false without even checking the second part of this equation. And the opposite is true for this OR, logical OR operator. If A is true or if B is true, then this entire expression evaluates to true. And again, if A is true, it does not even bother checking if B is true or not, because this whole expression is going to be true anyway. So the moment A is true, this whole expression will be evaluated to true even without checking if B is true or not. So the next one is the NOT operator, which is using the exclamation mark. What it means is this entire expression, whatever it evaluates to, it reverses the logical state of the result. So if this result turns out to be true, then adding this NOT operator will make it false. And if the entire result is false, then adding the NOT operator to that makes it true. And again, here also, although we use the variables A and B to show all of these operators, A and B can be any complex expression which evaluates to true or false. It's not necessary that it has to be just single variables like this. It can be any complex expression which eventually evaluates to true or false. The only way we could send values to a program was through program arguments. However, there is one very useful class called the scanner, which is used to obtain the input from the user. So what it means is, if through scanner, when the program is running, you can send some values to the program. However, to use the scanner, we have to import the scanner with this import statement. And the reason for that is scanner belongs to java.util package. So what is a package? Package is nothing but a folder structure in which a lot of classes which are related to each other are kept together. And if you want to use any of the classes from that package, you have to first import the package. However, so far we never imported any package to use string, int, boolean, or whatever that we declared. We never really imported any class at all. So why is that? That's because Java puts all the fundamental classes that are used to write a simple Java program together in a package called java.lang, which is automatically imported for us when we write a Java program. So there is no necessity for us to write the import statement whenever you're dealing with any of the classes which belong to java.lang. And our string class belongs here, and that's why we didn't have to use the import statement. And as you can see, there are several other classes which belong to this, and for any of these classes you really don't have to import. So to use the scanner, after importing, you are going to declare a variable, and of course this variable name can be anything, which is of type scanner, and then you're going to create a new scanner by using the new keyword. So using this new keyword, you're instantiating a scanner by sending in the console. So system.in is actually the console stream. We call that as console stream. So by sending in the console stream into the scanner, you can start inputting your values on the console, which will be received by the scanner and which is available for you in this program. So in this simple program, what you see is we instantiated the scanner, and then using the scanner, you're getting the next line. And once you use this next line, the system starts waiting for you to put the input on the console. And once you put any input on the console, that will be received and kept in this variable name, and then that is available for you inside this program. And of course, in this very simple example, we use next line, next int, and next double. We actually use 3 API calls of this scanner. Next int gets an integer from the user. Next double gets a double value from the user, and all of them are stored in local variables that we declared inside the main method. To run this program, I'm going to click on this copy button. Then the whole program is put on my clipboard. And then I'm going to come to my Cloud Shell here. And I'm going to do a Control A, get rid of the whole thing, and then a Control V so that I can get whatever is there in the clipboard copied over into my little program. But however, notice that file name is my little program, but the class name is Scanner Demo. So I'm going to save it and I'm going to try to compile it using mylittleprogram.java. However, it's throwing a compile error. It's saying class Scanner Demo is public, should be declared in a file named scannerdemo.java. So it's having a problem here. Since the class name is Scanner Demo, the file name also should be Scanner Demo because this class is public. It's a good idea to keep your classes public in the beginning till we understand why. So because we kept this public, the file name also should be same as that of the class name. So let's go ahead and rename it. Rename that to Scanner Demo. Okay, that is satisfied. And now it's also having another problem, another error. There are two errors here actually. So one error, we fixed it, and the second error is incompatible types, possible lossy conversion from int to short. So we declared a short to keep the age, but then we are using the next int method, and that's why it is complaining. Now let's use, instead of next int, let's use next short. So that's another method, next short. Again, and if you're wondering from where did I get this next short, always your go-to place is the Java doc. So open up your browser to go to your search engine, then search for scanner Java doc, which will take you to the Java doc of the scanner. And here, if you just search for next short, and there you go, next short. So if you click on that, it will give more description on what that next short is. It's an invocation of this method of the form next short, behaves in exactly the same way as the invocation of next short radix, where radix is default radix of the scanner. Well, sometimes you won't understand a whole lot because you're still a beginner. You can ignore this for now, but you now know that there is a next short method, you a short value when you use that. Coming back to this, now that we change from next into next short, hopefully it should be happy. Let's go ahead and compile it. Well, now it's saying mylittleprogram.java. Oh, I'm compiling my little program. Obviously, I have to change that to Scanner Demo now. So now it compiled, and I do see the scanner-demo.class here. And now let me run the compiled file using the Java executable. Now it started running. So what do you see here? Hi, please input your name. That came from this statement. Okay, let me input my name now. What does it do now? It's giving me a greeting, hi Jayashree, and that is coming from the next line here. So it took the name from the console. That's what this line did. The next line picked up the name, and then it assigned that to this name variable. And then in the next line, it used that name variable, the whatever was the input from the user is used to print out that line. And then it's now asking, please input your age. Well, I'm just 13 years old. Glad to know that you're 13 years old. That's what I see here, and that is coming from this line here. So it picked up the age from this, again, scanner, next short, was waiting for me to give the input, and the moment I gave the input is passed on to this age, and then that is used here in this line to print out. And then of course I have one more question, and that is coming from here, please input your height in inches. So that's the next question that the program is asking me. My height in inches is, I think, 60 inches. So let me put 60. And it printed out, glad to know that you're 60.0 inches tall. And that came from this last line. So this completed the program execution. Now, as you can see, the program finished its full execution, and it exited the program. Till the point of time, till it came to this last line, the program was actually waiting for me to input some value. It didn't exit, it was waiting for me to input the value, and the moment I input the value, it processed that input in its program, and then it kept executing one statement at a time all the way to the end of the program.